Ukrainian drones launched a precision strike overnight on June 27th, targeting 4 Su-34 fighter bombers stationed at the Marinovka Airfield in Russia's Volgograd region, located roughly 900 kilometers southeast of Moscow. The operation was confirmed by Ukraine's General Staff and the Ukrainian national news. According to preliminary data, 2 Su-34s were destroyed, while 2 others sustained serious damage. These aircraft are heavily relied upon by Russia to conduct bombing raids on Ukrainian territory, particularly with guided aerial bombs. The attack also ignited a fire in the airfield's technical and operational zone, a vital facility for aircraft maintenance and repairs. The blaze significantly increased the extent of the damage. The strike was a joint operation carried out by Ukraine's security service, special operations forces, and military intelligence, utilizing long-range, high-precision drones. Marinovka is Russia's only major airfield near Ukraine equipped with hardened aircraft shelters. 12 protective hangars were completed in early 2024, but they failed to prevent damage from the drone strike. The use of fragmentation munitions proved highly effective against these defenses. Targeting the airfield's maintenance hub not only removed 2 combat-ready jets from Russia's fleet, but also disrupted broader operational readiness in the region. This strike follows a wider escalation in Ukraine's drone warfare strategy. On June 1st, during Operation Spiderweb, SBU drones hit 5 Russian air bases across multiple time zones, damaging nearly 24 strategic aircraft, including several Tu-95 bombers. More recently, on June 19th, Ukrainian drones targeted airports in Volgograd, Saratov, and Kaluga, causing flight disruptions and increasing civilian anxiety across affected regions. Ukraine's ongoing drone offensive is a deliberate effort to dismantle Russia's bomber fleet and limit its ability to conduct airstrikes, expose weaknesses in Russian air defenses even at fortified airfields, increase pressure on Russia's military logistics and civilian population centers, demonstrate Ukraine's growing proficiency in long-range drone warfare. In response to the overnight attacks, Russian authorities imposed temporary restrictions on both ground and air traffic. Blasts near the Don River Bridge in Kalachovsky district forced the closure of a key transportation route. Russia claimed to have shot down 39 Ukrainian drones, including 13 over Volgograd region. However, the damage at Marinovka suggests that several drones penetrated air defenses and struck critical infrastructure. Russian military bloggers estimate that the destroyed aircraft was worth several $billion. Their own Telegram channels have confirmed the losses, acknowledging that the aircraft were successfully targeted and destroyed. Russians are upset not just by the scale of the loss, but by the incompetence that allowed it to happen. The strike has exposed serious gaps in Russia's defenses and raised uncomfortable questions about how such high-value assets were left so vulnerable. One of the main Russian military bloggers, the fighter bomber, is depressed after another batch of Russian planes was struck at their rear airfield. There's no point commenting on Marinovka, another round of multi-billion losses that could and should have been prevented. It'd be nice if not just the Ukrainians were held accountable for this. There's plenty of blame to go around here. Otherwise, this will just keep happening. I'm sure we'll respond with a flurry of angry and resolute telegrams. Ukrainian border guards near Vovchansk destroyed 2 Russian artillery pieces, a D-30 and an MT-12 Rapira. Recon strike UAV also eliminated 3 Russian vehicles used for transporting troops and ammunition and neutralized 6 soldiers. Ukrainian forces have repelled 7 Russian attacks near Vovchansk and nearby villages like Figolivka, Petro-Ivanivka, and Dovhenka in the South Slobozhansk direction within the last 24 hours. In the North Slobozhansk and Kursk sector, Russian aviation dropped multiple guided bombs around Vovchansk-adjacent areas, but Ukrainian defenders held firm, repelling 6 combat clashes and 6 airstrikes. Meanwhile, in the Russian Army, Tractor Assault Brigade, in 2022, Russian forces invaded Ukraine with modern tanks, APCs, and cutting-edge gear. But now, After over 2 years of attritional warfare, we're seeing a clear downgrade. Improvised armor, civilian trucks converted for combat, and decades-old vehicles. This shift reflects mounting losses, industrial strain, and desperation on the battlefield. A Russian soldier says officers commanding units show mass real heroism, knowing nothing about war and fearing to leave their bunkers to smoke.
Hello everyone, I just want to complain a little yes, and express my opinion on this matter. There have been so many appeals, so many complaints, so many writings, so much evidence, and this gang is unaffected. And I can't wrap my head around who covers for them, why they cover for them, why. It's understandable, yes, but the logic is simply absent. Well, in my understanding, when combat actions are taking place, when there's a war, they put combat people in command. With spirit, well, so that it would be no cowards somehow, with an understanding of combat. In our case, damn, they put one, it was Chizov. A coward tried to get to the position, saw a Ukrainian bird squealed in the trench, damn, like a woman. Well, this Strelnikov dam se bezala planted bastard, no, say sorry to speak this way, but I have never seen a more cowardly person. He was in the rear, afraid to come out of the dugout during the day to smoke. Like a rat, he would run out quickly, smoke, and run back, It seems like they talked about Oskola like he was a fighter, he called himself an assault trooper. And although in the end this assault trooper deflated, never even went to the front lines, sitting in the dugout. And where is the logic, where is the understanding who, how, why? During combat operations there should be responsible, combat-ready, understanding people.
They put in place cowards, drunks, and scaredy cats, that is.
How many drones does it take to destroy a Russian BM-21 Grad MLRS? For the Ivan Franko group, just 2. Ukraine continues to systematically destroy Russian artillery systems, including both conventional tube artillery and rocket launchers like the BM-21 Grad, Tornado G, and Uragan. With advanced Western-supplied counter-battery radars and long-range precision munitions, Ukrainian forces are now able to detect, target, and neutralize Russian artillery units within minutes of firing. This has led to a sharp decline in Russia's frontline artillery presence, significantly reducing their ability to suppress Ukrainian infantry and fortifications. Despite the losses, Russia still maintains a massive Soviet-era stockpile of artillery systems and ammunition. However, many of these are in poor condition, and logistics problems, compounded by Ukrainian strikes on depots and rail infrastructure, make their deployment increasingly difficult. To compensate, Russia has revived production lines in state-run factories, but manufacturing struggles with sanctions, labor shortages, and a lack of microelectronics needed for modern guided systems. To fill the gap, Russia has turned to North Korea, which has become a key supplier of artillery shells and possibly even entire artillery systems. North Korean 122mm and 152mm ammunition is now being used by Russian troops in the Donbass and Kharkiv fronts. However, this foreign-sourced supply is often of lower quality and less reliable, forcing Russian forces to rely more on massed barrages rather than precision fire. Strategically, Russia is adopting a quantity-over-quality approach, saturating areas with older, less accurate artillery in hopes of overwhelming Ukrainian positions. But Ukraine's ongoing campaign to eliminate these systems, especially using drones and HIMARS, continues to blunt Russia's artillery advantage and reshape the balance of firepower on the battlefield. Sure, no problem, Trump stated, vowing to strike Iran again without hesitation if they resume enriching uranium to levels concerning the U.S.
If the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Without question, absolutely.
Have you had any...
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.